Welcome to Crime 411. Just when you think that you've heard everything and that it can't get any worse, you read something in the news and it does. Today, the Rogers County Sheriff's Office in Oklahoma made an unprecedented move when they hauled away an entire crime scene to use as evidence in what investigators say is one of the most horrific cases of child abuse they have ever seen. They say this mobile home was a torture chamber for a 3-year-old girl. They say that Gus Pennington and the girl's mother, Jeannette Wilson, used a shock collar on the child. The affidavit says that the couple locked the child in a dark room with a camera and then proceeded to use an iPad to watch the girl being shocked over and over and over again. The affidavit also says that Pennington forced the child to sit on ice while she was naked and to go to the bathroom on a cinder block. It says that the couple did this, are you ready for this? To teach the child her ABCs and to retrain her brain to be respectful. I have no words for this. This is one of the most horrific, evil, monstrous things I could ever possibly imagine. There's just no words for it. It says, the affidavit says that Pennington shocked the little girl so many times in one day that the battery actually died on the shock collar. Now, I don't know how many of you are familiar with these shock collars. I had a dog years ago that had terrible separation anxiety. I would come home from work and I would put the key in the door and I would say, please, God, let me have a carpet and please let me have a couch. And somebody suggested that I get one of these training shock collars to keep her away from certain pieces of furniture and from the front door. So I bought one and I tried it on myself first to make sure that it was humane. And I couldn't use it on her. I couldn't do it. And I loved that little dog. I could not use this collar on that dog. This is a 3-year-old little baby. This is a baby, a 3-year-old little girl. When does the thought even enter your mind to do something like that, let alone to actually follow through and do it? What kind of evil, sick, twisted human being does something like that? It's just unbelievable. Sheriff Scott Walton, he said that he did take the entire crime scene as evidence. He wants the jury, if needed, to be able to walk through and see the evidence for themselves. And he says that some people may think that that is a bit extreme, but he wants to make sure that he does everything in his power to enable Pennington to die in a cage. Now, if you think about court cases, right, the prosecution will usually take crime scene photos and they'll blow them up real big for the jury. And those photos are usually enough to keep those jury members up at night. And if this sheriff is thinking that those photos wouldn't be enough to actually show the amount of abuse that this little girl went through, that he wants to make sure that the jury can actually physically walk through the trailer where this had happened, it's got to be a lot more horrific than I can even comprehend or wrap my head around. And that just makes me sad and sick for this little girl. The article did not say whether or not the little girl had passed away or not. So I can't report on that. I am going to do some further investigation into this to see what I can find out about the little girl, if she is still alive, God willing, where she is, and who she's with. But again, these two monsters here, Gus Pennington and Jeannette Wilson, are in jail right now for the torment of this little girl. They are in the Rogers County Jail. Please make sure to follow Crime 411 on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We do have our website also, crime411.org. We will keep you updated on this developing story. Again, Gus Pennington and Jeannette Wilson are in prison for the torment of a 3-year-old little girl in Oklahoma.